All right, so the reaction above that they were referring to says KClO3 KClO3 undergoes disproportionation when heated. Produce KCl and KClO4. So write our balance equation. So let's check if the atoms are balanced. So on this side, we have 3 oxygen. On this side, we have 4. Potassium is already equal. I'm going to double check. I didn't balance it, but if you have the 4-3 combination, I think you will need 4 on this side, the 3 on this side. I will double check. I think it will end up being a 4-3 combination. 3 potassium, 1 here, that's 4. 4 chlorine. 3 times 1, 3, and 1, 4 chlorine. All right. 4 times 3, 12 oxygen, 4 threes, 12. All right. I think that should be good. All right. Now it says calculate the oxidation number of chlorine, KClO3, and KClO4. We don't need to calculate it for this because we know that potassium is in group 1, so its oxidation state is known. We know that chlorine is in group 7, therefore it is -1. However, let's look at KClO3. Remember, for group 7 elements, their oxidation state is going to be -1, except when they are bonded with oxygen. So if you don't remember how to do oxidation state, the first thing we should do is look, by the way, there's no oxidation as that topic, but oxidation comes under group 7, all right? Especially with the displacement reactions, all right? So even though they say no oxidation, oxidation is a part of group 7. All right, so you look at the compound, it has no charge at the top, meaning, so like for sulfate, it has a charge of 2 minus. Here, you do not see a charge. When you add up the individual oxidation numbers, it should be equal to the overall charge. So we don't see any charge, it should give you 0. The oxidation state for oxygen is -2. And we have 3 oxygen atoms. And we're trying to find chlorine, so that would be X.
Sir, I don't think I quite understand how you got that equation.
So the question, it says KClO3 undergoes disproportionation. Because they told us, So part 2 that says write the balance equation for the reaction above. Right, they told us that this, when you heat it, you will get KCl and KClO4.
Oh, all right, sir.
All right. Right. So chlorine is X. And then we know that potassium is in group 1. So we know that we want X to be by itself. Or before we do that, let's go again. 3 times -2, that is -6. It's -6 plus X plus 1. So we want x by itself. X would be -6. Sorry. X would be +6 minus 1. That is +5. So over here, chlorine is +5. Over here, we check, let's go again. Wait, this should not be 326. There should be 4. And so this should be 8. Oh, I was working out case ClO3, not 4. But it's the same thing, all right? So let's just switch them out. Then this would be 8 minus 1, and you would get 7. All right, so +5 for this and plus. So this is +7, and over here is +5. For this proportionation, right? Let's look at what happened. Start out with this compound, right? In attention to chlorine, oxidation state was +5. If you look over here, as an oxidation state of -1, and it also has an oxidation state of +7. So basically, this same compound, it was both oxidized and reduced. So that is disproportionation, basically. Chlorine was both oxidized and reduced.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry for the bother. Could you please go over the ionization part, like the reduction and the oxidation?
Then how I calculated it?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, I can give you if you have a problem with the maths part, I can show you next way on your check. All right, so first thing you do, look if you have a charge here. You do not see a charge. All right, so try this and see if it can help. I'm not sure that no. Let's just work with the maths. Okay, look if it has a charge, right? Do not see any charge. That means when you add up the oxidation state for potassium, chlorine, and oxygen, the answer you should get is 0. Now, the rules for oxidation states says that oxidation state for oxygen is always -2, except in peroxides. So we know that oxygen is -2 based on the rule. In this compound, 4 of it. So 4 times -2, that is -8. We should end up back with our answer of 0. We're trying to figure out chlorine, so we let chlorine be X. Anything you're trying to find out, we let X represent it. Potassium is in group 1. If the element is in group 1, it has an oxidation state of +1. So all we're doing is adding up the oxidation state for each element. The -8 is for oxygen, the X is for chlorine, the +1 is for K. It's K plus Cl plus O4. All right. So we're trying to find X. So we're keeping X by itself. We bring everything else across the equal sign. Bringing -8 across the equal sign, it becomes +8. in positive 1 across the equal sign, it becomes -1. And so the answer is +7.
Okay, thank you, sir.
This equation, it was, all right, let me write it for you. All right. So the question that said, is ClO3 is a different thing. Question 3, it started out like this. So this was stated at the top of the question. I just basically write the equation for what was stated. And so that is how I got the equation. It said KClO3 when heated produces KCl and KClO4. All right. So this proportionation is a reaction in which a compound undergoes both oxidation and reduction. Because if you notice here, it was being reduced, and here it was being oxidized. If you remember oxidation, in terms of oxidation state, oxidation is the increase in oxidation state. And here we see it move from +5 to +2. I mean, +7. So that is oxidation. We know that reduction is a decrease in oxidation state. That's +5 to -1. So both oxidation and reduction occurred starting with a single compound. All right, so that's disproportionation. Part B, it was a repeat. I'll give you a minute and we'll move on to a table. All right.
Sir, what did you substitute equation to get the 5?
Please repeat. What did I?
What did you substitute in the equation to get the +5?
How did I get the +5 here?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll do that quickly and then we move. All right. All right, so again, as I said, the first thing I do, look if you have any charge on the compound or the ion. So if you add 2 minus here, then when you add up everything, the answer should be equal to -2. Then that's how you start out the equation. All right. But if you look at it and you don't see a number at the top, it should be equal to 0. And when you look, there's no number, so it should be equal to 0. What you're going to do is multiply the number of atoms So let's do this now. All right, so 326 plus chlorine we're trying to find is X. Potassium is in group 1 plus 1. 3 2's -6 plus X plus 1. All right, I want X to be the subject. So I'm going to bring everything across the equal sign. -6 goes across, it becomes +6. +1 goes across, it becomes -1. So -1 minus +6 minus 1, that is equal to +5. All right. All right, so next question now. I'm going to clear the board, so just take a screenshot if anything.